I was in year 6 in the autumn of 2016, the year the news wouldn't stop talking about killer clowns. Grown-ups said it was just copycats and pranks. For kids, it felt like the monsters had decided to try on real faces. Our school was Ashdown Primary in a quiet village on the edge of the forest in East Sussex. Rows of semis, a corner shop, a bus that came when it felt like it. Nothing strange ever happened there. On a Tuesday, just after lunch, about 1 o'clock by the classroom clock, we were bent over worksheets while the radiators ticked and the fluorescent lights hummed. "There's a clown outside," Mia blurted, her voice so high it cut the room in two. Chairs scraped. Half of us stood. I looked with everyone else toward the windows, and there he was, so close it felt like he'd fog the glass if he breathed. He wore a baggy red and yellow suit streaked with grime, a white face with black smeared round the eyes, and a grin that didn't move. After a beat, his arm lifted and began to wave. Slow, deliberate, as if he had all day. Some kids giggled the way you do when you're scared and don't want to be. Others just stared. My stomach felt hollow and cold. Miss Hawthorne crossed the room in 3 long strides and planted herself at the window. "Excuse me," she said through the glass, her voice sharp and teacher loud. "Classes are in session. You need to leave." He didn't flinch. The slow wave didn't change. The smile didn't either. "Everyone back to your seats," Miss Hawthorne said. Her jaw was tight. She picked up the corded phone mounted by the door, stepped into the corridor with the receiver, and spoke low. When she came back, she pulled the blinds down one by one, each slat clicking shut, but you could still see the shape of him through the gaps. The curve of a sleeve, the tilt of a head, the rhythm of that hand. Less than 2 minutes later, the tannoy popped and the head teacher, Mr. Patel, spoke in a voice too calm to be natural. "Staff, please move your classes into lockdown formation." The words pressed on my chest. Miss Hawthorne didn't hesitate. "Lights off, door locked. Under desks, everyone," she said, already moving bookcases to shield the door's window. We crawled into the dark, knees against cold linoleum, elbows bumping, the smell of pencil shavings and dust. Somebody snorted a laugh. Someone else started to cry without sound. We stayed like that forever, or 30 minutes by the clock we couldn't see. At some point, my legs went pins and needles, and my mouth tasted metallic. No footsteps in the corridor, no sirens, just the building holding its breath. Finally, the tannoy again. "Lockdown is lifted. The situation has been handled." We were told nothing more. The blinds stayed down. We finished our worksheets with hands that wouldn't stop shaking. By dismissal, the playground buzzed with theories. Teachers said very little, which made it worse. I walked home with my friend Ollie the usual way, down the path that skirts the field, past the little copse of trees behind the school. It isn't a forest, just a handful of trunks that turn the footpath into a green tunnel in summer and a black twiggly one in autumn. 2 girls from our class hurried past us, faces tight and white. "Someone's in the trees," one said over her shoulder. We turned. At first I saw nothing but trunks and shadow. Then the shadows took on a shape. He was there again, the clown, half hidden behind the nearest birch. Same filthy costume, same chalky face, same blackened eyes. The wave started up, that same slow wag of the hand. But it wasn't for us. His arm was angled toward the girls, beckoning as if he were calling a dog. "Come here." The smile never changed. Every bit of warmth left my body. Ollie grabbed my sleeve. We didn't speak. We ran. I didn't stop until I was inside my house with the door double locked and my chest burning. I told Mum everything in a rush. She called the school. The school called someone else. Later, through the grapevine of kids who always seemed to know things first, we heard the police had been out again, circling the streets and checking the footpath. They didn't find him. For weeks after, I couldn't pass the cops without tasting fear. I kept seeing the way he stood, so still it made the whole world feel too loud, and the way he came back after the lockdown as if the first scare had only been rehearsal. Adults said prank. They said trend. They said it would pass. Maybe it did. The news moved on, the posters came down, the lessons went back to fractions and fronted adverbials. But sometimes, even now, when the late bus drops me near the school and the trees are slick with rain, I catch myself quickening my step, feeling eyes where there shouldn't be any. I think about that wave, unhurried, patient, as if whoever was behind the paint could stand there all afternoon, waiting for one kid to step off the path. He never spoke. He didn't need to. The silence did the talking, and the smile did the rest. And what frightens me the most isn't what he did in broad daylight, where teachers could pull blinds and head teachers could speak in code. It's that, when everyone thought it was over, he melted into the trees and waited.